All right, guys, how's it going? You're out here fishing with California. We're going to talk today about the NRX rod series, which is in the Shimano / G Loomis lineup. So if you guys are looking for, the eye candy, this isn't it. This is me breaking down what this rod is for, what you can do with it, what it does well, what it doesn't, the pros and the cons, some of the good things about the rod, some of the bad things. Today, we're speaking about the 783C MBR. Now, if you're wondering what the 783 stands for, it's 78 inches long. It's a 3 power. That's what that means. If you're kind of wondering, okay, so we're talking about the NRX Plus lineup. What's the MBR? The MBR. What does that stand for? And that's going to stand for Mag Bass Rod. So it's a blend. It's essentially a CBR type rod. It's a crankbait rod. It's got, give to it, but we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about it specifically. So that's what MBR stands for. The C stands for casting, obviously, casting rod. So this rod's pros. What is it about this rod that I really liked? And the first thing I liked was how light it was. And I liked, well, the lure rating was perfect. It was 3/8 to 3/4 ounce. So that's the lure rating. And I felt like it would be great for the jerk baits, great for top water, great for spoon fishing. So maybe some buzz baits, maybe some little odds and ends here and there. But for the most part, that's going to be my main focus. That's when I got it and I used it. And I immediately noticed that the rod was stiffer than I would like, which is a complete bummer. So the rod's a lot stiffer. The new Plus models in general are. The diameter of the actual blank is thinner. The rods are a feather or two lighter, but much stiffer. Now, for the MBR models, I've tried all of them. This one I don't like very much, but it still works really great for certain things. It's got a little too much power, in my opinion, for any of the light stuff. So I feel comfortable fishing a 1/2 ounce to a 3/4 ounce bait on this rod. I feel like it handles it well. I feel like it loads a little bit better. I feel like that's the sweet spot. And for a casting rod that's an MBR, that's not a very wide spectrum, but it seemed like if you're gonna throw a 1/2 ounce top water walk the dog to a 3/4 ounce, a popper, something, anything really on top. I mean, even if you want to go frog, it's got a little bend to it, so it can hook up on the frog. It's pretty stiff. If you're frog fishing and buzz bait fishing, and it can do a variety of things. If you're throwing bigger spinner baits and you're trying to be more accurate, but the rod itself, in my opinion, way too stiff. And this is just from my opinion. So instead of fishing the junior and the junior plus one, I'm finding myself fishing the regular Megabass, Vision 110 1/2 ounce +1 +2 on that rod, and it's feeling more it's loading better. So it's overpowered, and I would say that it's a good rod, but a lot of people end up finding themselves not using it as much. I would not recommend buying this rod if I were you. There are some other better rods out there as far as price, but as far as everything, if you, the balance on this rod feels off. It just isn't right. The feel of the rod, it's just, stay away from the MBR 783C. It's just a waste of your time and money. Now, the one thing it did do really well, like really well, well, better than almost any other rod was, it did pop a 3/4 ounce spoon quite well. So it was able to do that. But other than that, it just feels like, it's just not right. So I would downgrade, get yourself a 842C MBR. You'll be much happier with that model over this model. And I prefer shorter.